We were invited to a wedding in India, and so we decided to spend a few days exploring North India. We travelled through Jaipur, Agra and Delhi for 4 days, seeing some of the most breathtaking sights. India has always been on my list of destinations. I never really understood why, but something inside me wanted to see the place, and I'm so glad I did. The first stop was Jaipur, also known as the Pink City. It's famous for its unique colour, rich history and incredible architecture. The city was founded in 1727 and is one of India's first planned cities, designed with wide streets and organised blocks inspired by ancient Hindu architecture. And apparently it's called the Pink City because in 1876 the city was painted pink to welcome the Prince of Wales. Since then, Jaipur has kept its rosy hues, symbolising hospitality, and it's now a defining feature of the city. Our first stop in Jaipur is Amber Palace. The place is stunning. It has these massive courtyards and walls that seem to stretch forever. Inside, a ticket costs around 500 rupees for foreigners, so it's around $10 AUD. They charge a fifth of the price for locals, but I'm not sure if it would pass as locals. You can walk or ride elephants up to the Amber Palace. We decided to walk because we felt kind of bad for the elephants. Once you get in, there are all these tour guides that will ask you to hire them. We were a bit skeptical at first because they were kind of pushy, but one guy had the best pitch where he just told us some facts about the palace and gave us tips for the palace without asking for anything, so we just hired him for the tour, and it was about $10 per person to hour of guided tour. We had a pretty funny experience in the palace where a guy wearing a security guard uniform came up to us and told us to go the other way, so we listened to him, right, because he's in a uniform, and as soon as we went the other way he asked us for money. We quickly realised he wasn't a real security guard and we walked off. He followed us for a bit but gave up when he realised we had a local guide with us. So be warned, just because they're in a uniform doesn't mean they're legit. We went in early to beat the crowd, and I'd highly recommend it because it does get pretty busy. Next up was Hawa Mahal, also known as the Palace of Winds. This was built with nearly 1,000 windows to keep it cool. This Wes Anderson looking structure is one of Jaipur's most iconic landmarks. Built in 1799, this 5-story pink sandstone facade was created to allow the royal woman to observe street festivals and daily life below them without being seen. It's about 50 rupees to enter, but the tuk-tuk driver told us it wasn't worth it because there's not actually a lot behind the wall. It was a little bit underwhelming, if I'm honest. It looked huge in videos and strangely a lot smaller in person. Right next to Hawa Mahal is Bapu Bazaar. We somehow walked all the way there in one piece, and as you can see, the streets were not a walk in the park. We tried buying shoes but then forgot that haggling was a thing. We spent about 15 minutes walking around and realised we were way too tired to keep going and went back to the hotel. And I did not expect this, but the hotel we stayed at was actually a tourist attraction in itself. I'm still in awe looking at the footages of this hotel. This is the Hyatt Regency Jaipur Mansarovar. I've been calling it Mansarovar for the longest time, but no, it's Mansarovar because it's located in the Mansarovar neighbourhood. Makes sense. The hotel is a blend of heritage and modern luxury. This 5-star hotel has a courtyard covered in white marble and they have free entertainment and snacks in the afternoon. I just wanted to stay in this hotel for the whole trip, honestly. Opened pretty recently, the architecture of the Hyatt is inspired by Rajasthan's traditional palaces and havelis. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. With high arched doorways, grand courtyards and sandstone facades that pay homage to Jaipur's iconic pink coloured scheme. The highlight of the place was definitely the courtyard. It served as a communal and ceremonial space. The inside of the lobby was literally covered in hand-drawn gold walls, but much classier than the Trump Towers. I honestly didn't want to leave this place. Pro tip, if you want free cake, tell the hotel when you're booking that it's your anniversary or birthday or something. Literally every hotel we stayed at in India gave us cake, and this was probably one of the best cakes of the whole trip. We had dinner at the restaurant in the hotel and I had the best sleep of my life. After a massive buffet breakfast the next day, we were ready to make our way to Agra and see the Taj Mahal. We booked an Uber to drive from Jaipur to Agra. It was a 4-hour ride for about $100 AUD. I did not think herds of camel and sheep would be the reason for traffic jams, but this was a common occurrence. 4 hours later, we got to Agra. We didn't go out that night, but got up really early in the morning to go to the Taj. We wanted to see the sunrise there, and we booked a tour guide on Airbnb to take us through the Taj. It was definitely worth it. He picked us up at the hotel and we rode in a tuk-tuk to the Taj Mahal. I did not know this, but they're really strict with what you take in with you to this UNESCO site. From memory, we were only allowed our phones and cameras, and that's about it. I had a microphone with me and the guards held onto it until I left. Entry is around 1,000 rupees for foreigners. The Taj Mahal, one of the new 7 wonders of the world, is more than just a stunning piece of architecture. It's a symbol of eternal love and devotion. This ivory white marble mausoleum set on the banks of Yamuna River in Agra was commissioned in 1632 by the emperor in memory of his beloved wife, Mumtaz Mahal. She died giving birth to their 14th child. Construction took over 22 years and involved more than 20,000 artisans from across India, Persia, the Ottoman Empire and Europe, with completion marked around 1653. We read somewhere that the emperor chopped off the craftsmen's hands after the Taj Mahal was built, so they couldn't recreate this again, but the tour guide told us that it was definitely a myth. The design of the Taj Mahal incorporates elements of Persian, Islamic and Indian architecture, with the central dome reaching a height of 73 meters. And I didn't know this, but apparently it was the wife's dying wish that the emperor built this magnificent complex. She also wished for him to not remarry again. Not sure how that went, but he did build this for her, and it's one of the 7 wonders of the world. So I think he did pretty well. And inside of the Taj Mahal is actually a tomb for the both of them. It's honestly such a surreal sight. I'm so glad I got to see this, and the videos definitely don't do it justice. We flew to Delhi and then South India the next day for our friend's wedding. It was such a different place. Check out my next video for this epic wedding. And as always, thanks for watching. See you next time.